Welcome back to the fifth down. We've got some 11-man football highlights to get to, but first, I believe Tyler has our winner for top play of week 5. Right, Tyler?
Yes, I do, Austin. And before we get rolling in all of our games from tonight, we have your top play winner from last week. Now, over 4,000 people voted, and that is amazing. But we can only have one winner, sadly, and that winner is the top play of week 5 belonging to Augrey Sims Wolverine Keegan Bender. Bender's going to take this short pass in the flat from Mason Van Sickle. He absolutely drops a hit and barrels through the defender on his way for a long Wolverine touchdown. He trucked this guy at about the 50-yard line and then ran 50 yards for the score. A lot of physical running from these two, but a huge second half led Augrey to a victory last week over Alcona.
Thanks so much for taking part in our vote. Now, Alcona was in action in Harbor Spring tonight, looking to rebound off of their loss last week. The Rams coming out of the locker room at halftime with a 2-point edge. They would get the first possession of the second half. And starting marching, Cheston Averill calls the QB sneak and pushes the pile ahead for a 9-yard gain. He could not be brought down. Later in the drive, Averill breaks a contain on the rollout, and he picks up another solid gain inside the Owls' 30-yard line before being pushed out of bounds. But on the 12, the Rams are going to fumble the snap, and Oscoda's Parker Burgdiner gets to the bottom of the pile for the recovery. The Owls start moving from there. On the 4th and 1, Carson Gooch gets the jet sweep and picks up 12 yards and a first down. Later, Gooch again with a nice cutback run. Oscoda's going to put up 20 in the 4th quarter to win it all. Final score of this one is 26-8.
Yeah, great showing from the Owls right there. Now let's take a look at all of the other 11-man teams in action tonight around our area. And what do we have here? The Alpena Wildcats won their first game of the season at Gaylord 10-7. Sam Cook, the soccer star, kicked a winning field goal with just 52 seconds to go. And Caden Budnick had the touchdown for Alpena on a 47-yard score. And the Johannesburg-Lewiston Cardinals dropped their match to St. Ignace by 2 scores. 30-14 was the final in that one. All right, we need some water. You guys go make some popcorn during the great break because we have a ton of 8-man football action for you coming up next. So keep it locked right here on WBKB because there is more Fifth Down coming up after the break. Welcome back into the Fifth Down. We had a thriller down in Alcona tonight between them and Rogers City, the two new 8-man teams. And let's roll those highlights. The Rogers City Hurons were in town facing Alcona on the Tigers' homecoming night. A great night to be there for a home team and a visiting team. They had some fans there too. Here's the home fans. First quarter here, we're going to kick things off with Alcona. They have the ball, play action pass to Gavin Walker, who he's just going to blow by the defense, take it 60 yards plus and in for the score. First blood goes to the Tigers. They are up 6-0. They had a 12-8 lead at the half. And, well, let's have some homecoming festivities. A couple athletes in this year's homecoming court. We had freshman quarterback Garrett Summers, a few other players, but none important than the king. Can we call him the Tiger King, maybe? Michael Basner, the running back, was named homecoming king for Alcona this year. All right, let's go back to football. Quick pit stop at halftime. Alcona is looking to build on their first half lead. Here is Jeremiah Bullis. He actually tips this ball, catches it, is spun around, and then he's going to take it all the way in for the touchdown, and Alcona extends that lead 18-8 in the 3rd quarter. But this is where the Hurons would say no more. Rogers City on the ensuing kickoff, and Isaac Paul, the sophomore, is going to play doctor and make a house call. He is in for 6. The 2-point conversion would be good, and it is now 18-16. Alcona with just a 2-point lead. Hurons with the ball again, and this one is interesting. Spencer Whitford rolls out, and at the last second, he tosses it to Hayden Hankowski, who would not be stopped. That's the lead for Rogers City. That touchdown makes it 24-18. Into the 4th quarter now. Alcona says, not on my home court. Michael Basner, the homecoming king, he takes this one up the gut to the sideline and all the way down for the score. The Tigers tied the game late, but Rogers City would answer. Here, check out this catch from Isaac Paul for his 2nd score of the night. He is in the corner of the end zone. Rogers City takes a 30-24 lead. 4th and 7 with 17 seconds left. No timeouts for the Tigers. They're on the 45. Summers is looking for the end zone, and that ball is picked after being tipped a few times. The Hurons are going to win this one 30-24. That will do it for the game of the year in Northeast Michigan.
Yeah, the Hurons really topped that one off, and it was a great highlight from that game. Now let's move over to Hillman, where they hosted Onaway of the Cardinals in that one. The cheerleaders were out in force for this one, and they were looking to have the Hillman Tigers continue their winning ways. Picking things up in the second half, A.J. Jones, he's going to take the snap, and he's going to look downfield for his receivers. He can't find anyone, so he keeps it himself. He breaks free and nearly makes it to the end zone before being brought down. He would set up his team, though, for the touchdown as A.J. tosses it outside to Sean Hennigan. He runs to the outside and makes it into the end zone for the touchdown for the Tigers. Later with the two-point conversion try, A.J. Jones, he's going to take the snap and he's going to drop back. He's going to look for his boy Daniel Edsel in the end zone. He's going to catch it off his shoulder and bobble it with one hand to get the two-point conversion. His teammates, man, they were really hype after that grab. Now we're going to go to Onaway with the ball. They're going to go with an outside toss to Hudson Decker. He decides to cut back inside on the play. He fights through multiple defenders, breaks free. He's got one man to beat on his back. He dives for the shoestring tackle, but not in time. The Cardinals get the long rushing touchdown. Hillman again with the ball, and it's going to be close to the goal line. Owen Moulton takes the handoff, and he's going to lower his shoulder and truck his way into the end zone. Big touchdown for the Tigers. Hillman would pull away big time at this one at home with the win. Final score of this one was 56-14. And after the game, here's Coach Cody Allen with what the Tigers need to do to keep this hot streak going.
Yeah, just preparation and effort at practice. Have a high-effort team. Effort goes a long way in 8-man football.
Well, Hillman showed a lot of effort tonight against Onaway. Now let's head 20 minutes over to Atlanta, where the Huskies hosted the Mayo Thunderbolts. Mayo coming off a big win over Whittemore Prescott in Atlanta. They're starving for a win in this one. We're going to pick things up, and Atlanta is up 1, and the Husky defense makes a big stop here. Austin Fox makes a throw looking for Lewis Kuffel, but tips off his fingers, and Landon Galea dives and gets that interception. Atlanta would not score on that drive, but they would get another chance late in the first. TJ Curry takes a shot deep in the end zone, but Austin Fox, this time on defense, would make the interception for Mayo. Here's Curry again. He'd have a short memory after that pick. He takes the ball himself and bolts through the Thunderbolt defense, and he is going to get the touchdown for the Huskies. Atlanta's lead increases. Mayo now with possession here, and Fox is going to hand it off to his guy Dallas Long. He runs right up the gut, completely untouched, and gets Mayo that long rushing touchdown. Great play right there from the Thunderbolts. Atlanta with the ball now, and TJ Curry, he is going to chuck it deep for the senior Trace Jurgens, who is wide open, free from his man. He runs it in and grabs the big touchdown for Atlanta. And the Huskies, they would do well in the first half, but in the second, Mayo would pull away. Austin Fox off his back foot finds Lewis Kuffel in the end zone for the touchdown, and the Thunderbolts grab the win on the road. Final score in this one was 49-32 Mayo.
All right, now let's take a look at some of the other 8-man football scores from around the area. First, we had a big blowout win from the Posen Vikings. They were in action against Charleston Heston, and they got the big win on the road. They won by 48 points with a final score of 60-12. We also had a tight one with the All Gray Sims and the Hale Eagles. And a tight one, it would be All Gray Sims winning by 8 against Hale. Final score in that one was 58-8.